In this quick tip, we're going to look at test availability exceptions. So something I see quite often is when a tutor creates a Blackboard quiz and there's certain adaptive release or certain settings within the test options, such as the duration of the test, that need to be altered for different students. So it might be that you have a student who, for whatever reason, can't sit the test at the same time as the rest of the cohort, or maybe they have a specific learning difference, which means they get more time to sit the test. So what I see quite often when people try to implement this is to have a separate copy of the quiz for each student that needs a different test option. So, for instance, if you've got two students who need to have different durations of time, then actually you end up with 3 copies of the quiz on a page. The first copy for the main cohort, and then 2 other copies that are individually adapted released to certain students with their test options specifically set. Now this gets really messy. You've got 3 tests on a page where you only need 1. You end up with a lot of extra grade center columns, and it's totally unnecessary to do it this way. So I'm in Blackboard here, and I have a fairly standard Blackboard quiz already deployed to the page. Now you can see there below that there is already some availability settings set. It's important to note that that is test availability, not adaptive release. If you have this set with adaptive release, using test availability exceptions will conflict with it, and the adaptive release will end up being removed. I'm just going to go to the context menu and click edit the test options. And if we scroll down, you'll notice we have these settings: force completion, set timer, and this is what I mentioned about availability times. So from our test availability exceptions panel here, I'm going to click add user or group. This gives us a list of all the groups and students in the module. So for the purposes of this, I'm just going to select our first student at the top here. And you'll see it now lists this student along with a number of different options we can change specific to this student. So in this particular instance, all I'm going to do is change the timer to 90 minutes. I'm going to go back to add user or group again. I'm going to select the second student in the list. You'll notice that the timer is still set to the default for the rest of the cohort, so we're going to leave that at 60, but we're going to change the availability options. This student can't sit the test on the same day as everybody else, so we're going to give them a different window of opportunity. So we can see now that underneath the test availability exceptions, we have 2 different students who both have their own exceptions. I'll click submit. So now this quiz has been deployed to our 3 different groups, our main cohort, student 1 and student 2, with varying settings. No need to have 3 different copies of the quiz cluttering up the page or our grade center. Thank you for watching.